What's up, everybody? Today we're going to take a look at an area south of Middleton. Yes, this is south of Middleton, the family housing area. So this is south of Shady Brook, south of Moultrie Creek. This is that area that they have been working on. You can see the trees spanning all along the border there. And there's a lot of progress being made down here. A bunch of land clearing. This space goes all the way down to Center Hill, and we're going to take a look at some of that. I did a video on this about 6 months ago, and they have cleared so much land in between the two before that. This is going to be a large residential and commercial development, which is planned south of 301 and 470. So we'll see some of that by 301 later. This is going to supposedly, it's called the Old Florida Springs Development, and this is just south of Coleman Prison and the Middleton neighborhood. Sumter County approved comprehensive plan amendment and a zoning change to mixed use. It also has been reviewed by state because of its size. It's going to have 816, or the plans, that's not what they always do, but the plans are calling for 816 multifamily housing units, 1.2 million square feet of commercial and industrial space, and 100,000 square feet of self-storage. 525 self-storage units be added for recreational vehicle parking, which is already in this area. Part of the property is known as the Shady Brook Golf and Resort property and 96-acre golf course on the southern end. So a lot of property down here. It's 276 acres, which included an archaeological site, and they have obviously the wetlands to contend with and all those things that they typically try and keep intact. So this is Middleton here, and we're looking at the whole area south of this. Now the interesting thing about this is they have these quarries and processing plants like right smack dab in the middle of all of this stuff, which is kind of crazy to me, but I guess they're just going to build around it. You can see the cranes and the water and all that stuff there. And they do from time to time do blasting in this area in the quarries, and you've probably heard that if you live in the area. And they do have floodplains in this area and wetlands, obviously, but they're planning on avoiding all of that stuff, and they're clearing the land. So you can see this is way down in between Middleton and Center Hill. This is the area I videoed probably 6 months ago, maybe 7, and this was all trees. I'm going to put a picture up here where you'll be able to see what exactly the map looked like before. This was all trees, and actually to the north of this was also all trees. They were just testing the ground. And you can see that, like in Google Maps, you can see the large clumps of trees there that they've already taken down. And we're looking kind of down towards Center Hill here. Center Hill is way down by Bushnell, and Bushnell is actually who's going to provide municipal water and wastewater services. So similar to Wildwood, but Bushnell is a little bit bigger than Wildwood. I believe Bushnell has a Walmart and quite a few other things that, like when the villages started building by Wildwood did not have. You see the close-ups of all the trees here being clumped up. They'll end up burning all of these in this area. So when they dig these areas out and kind of get them ready for building, they test the ground, and then they go in, and when they're leveling and kind of moving the earth around and putting all the clays and stuff in, they'll take all the limestone out, and they will pile it up, and that's what they use to line the retention ponds. There's a huge nursery on the west side of the road here, which is just on the opposite side of where all this building is going. I would be guessing that they will be supplying a lot of the plants and things for the landscaping. And this is the area just to the north. So this is between where we were just looking at, as well as the Middleton area. And like I said, Middleton, they're building just on the south of Middleton. They're not building yet, but they're manipulating the ground and all that stuff just south of where Middleton is. Middleton was supposed to be a huge family housing area with around 8,000 homes, and they reduced that, and your guess is as good as mine of why they did that, but I think it's because they weren't getting as many families moving into that areas. I have seen where they have some families moving in and then they'll have grandparents moving in. Middleton is not really, Middleton residents don't have access to village's amenities, I should say, but so it's a little bit different. It's definitely different. So up here in the top left of the screen, you can see all that grassy area. That has actually already been cleared. So it looked like that right there in front of us where all those trees are. Not too long ago, probably 6 to 8 months, maybe a little more. But they have cleared a lot of this, and then the grass grows back over. But they've taken most of the trees down, and you can see it looks like they're going to leave the trees that are standing up. Those are the ones that they'll probably end up leaving. They'll build golf courses around them. There's going to be a lot of commercial in this area also, and rightfully so. They're going to need a bunch in this area because the closest thing, like I said before, is Bushnell, and Bushnell is probably 15-20 minutes from here. I'm interested to see if you will get another square down here similar to Eastport. I know they didn't want to make any squares after Brownwood. That's why you saw Sawgrass Grove. I mean, that was kind of the pitch at the time when they bought Brownwood. That was the last square. So you can see here, this is zoomed in down towards Center Hill, and the developer owns or is going all the way down to this area. You can see the water tower kind of right there in the middle of your screen there. That is all the way down by Center Hill, and that's where they'll be headed. And then just to give you kind of a idea of how big this area is, as we pan, we're starting to look to the north here, and like I said, that grassy area up where it's not dirt and not trees, that is where they have already cleared that entire area. And then I'll show you exactly where Eastport, Middleton, all the new housing that they're building is. And this is again a zoomed in shot. Kind of pan up here and you'll be able to see it. This is the area that they've cleared, and we're looking dead over that area. And that is where Middleton and Moultrie Creek, Eastport, all that is. You can see it in the distance there. A little bit foggy, and kind of a little bit of dirt from them moving the earth around. This is planned to be completed by 2030. So you have about 5 years. If you're looking long term down the road, looking for housing, this would be the area that you're looking at in long term, obviously 5 years. So I mean, they're talking about Eastport being done fully next year, opening up quite a bit in October. And they actually did open some roads in Eastport here recently within the last few days, and I'll be getting down there. I'll show you what they have open. None of the retail or anything's open, but you can drive through certain areas now. I saw it in a video on Facebook. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. As always, I will see you in the next one.